Greetings and welcome to the channel, everybody. So we are fastly approaching the launch of the upcoming Ninja Gaiden 4. And, you know, I made a recent video on this game titled something something bait and switch. And I'm actually pleasantly surprised at how well that video did. Shout outs to each and every one of you that actually viewed the video and all that good stuff. It's always nice to have a piece of content do well on my channel that has nothing to do with Tekken 8. So I am ecstatic for that. So here I am bringing you back some more news about the game. Now, just to kind of put this out there, I do intend on playing the game. I intend on streaming the game the day of. And so we're going to get into that. So I also want to urge people, since I am on the road to 2,000 subscribers, I urge for you guys to hopefully, if I earn it, if you guys can subscribe to the channel, basically that would help me greatly. And also there is a join button for you to join one of my memberships, which will help me immensely. But anyway, let's get into this. So the first article, this comes from Games Radar. So this is everything we know so far, well, at least according to this person here. So I feel like this is good for those people that may not be totally familiar with what is going on with Ninja Gaiden 4. And so let's just go through this article real quick. So it basically says 4 days away. So we're going to skip past that. Oh, and these articles will be linked in the description. So feel free to check those articles out at your leisure if you want to go and dissect these. So it says first announced during the 2025 Xbox Developer Direct Showcase, Ninja Gaiden 4 will introduce us to a new martial arts genius from the Raven clan called Yakumo. While series staple Ryu Hayabusa is still in the story as a playable character, Yakumo will be our primary protagonist this time around and will bring in with him a ton of cool new combat features. Change can be scary, but from gameplay footage, trailers, and information from the dev team, we're confident that newcomers and Ninja Gaiden veterans alike will have plenty of reasons to get excited about this upcoming game. So, you know, right then and there, I know that many people do not like the fact that Ryu is essentially a cameo. He's basically a guest star in his own franchise. And I've said this, you know, I've spoken about this on a few occasions. And for me personally, I am approaching this game not as a Team Ninja game, because it really is not a true Team Ninja game. It is really a Platinum Games developed title. But let's pin that to the side. We're going to continue on with the video. Let's just get back to the article. So the release date, you know, is set for October 21st. At least that's what it says here. I'm going to show you guys something else coming up in the video. The news came as part of the Summer Game Fest 2025 festivities, specifically during the Xbox Game Showcase, where a snazzy new trailer put Team Ninja's intentions in place. The October release date means that the game is coming out during one of the busiest months of the year. Though in terms of new releases, we just got Battlefield 6, which is an amazing game. Little Nightmares 3. I heard about Little Nightmares. I got to try that. In fact, I think I have access to the first two games on Xbox. Pokemon Legends. I'm not really a Pokemon guy. And I will be streaming that Outer Worlds 2, which actually comes out, I believe, on the 29th of October. So that's going to be pretty exciting. So in terms of the platforms, it's going to be on pretty much everything that matters, in my opinion, which is PC, Series X, and PS5. And of course, because I'm a Game Pass subscription holder, Ultimate, I'll be able to play the game at launch. And that goes for when Black Ops 7 is released later on in November 14th, which I will also stream that as well. And then it says here that but we're still waiting to see if it will be added to our upcoming Switch 2 games. Okay, well, I mean, hey, I hope, even though I don't really respect Nintendo's leadership, I do hope that the Switch owners get to experience this game. You know, I do hope that. But anyway, let's take a look at this quick trailer. I actually have not looked at this trailer. This is like something recent they put out. So hopefully no ads get in the way.
Watch your back, Yakumo. You're a wanted
Oh
criminal.
wow. I was caught looking at something I probably shouldn't have.
That's my mission. My duty as a Raven ninja.
Well, of one thing, the game is bloody.
Breaking the Dark Dragon free has its consequences.
This is it.
Sayori.
That's
For
the
you.
man
There's something I need your help with.
with his one weapon. Okay, I like that. Classic. Oh, that was nice. What the hell? That looks like something you see in Silent Hill.
The Dark Dragon is mine.
Okay, deluxe editions. The outfits look pretty cool. Okay, okay.
Play it
all
day
right.
one with Game Pass.
Well, that's how I'm going to be playing it, right on Game Pass. All right, so let's move on forward past the article. Past this video here. So, all right, let's see if we get past this. So in terms of the setting and the story, all right, so Ninja Gaiden 4 is set in a time period after the events of Ninja Gaiden 3 in an abandoned futuristic Tokyo that is plagued by chaos caused by the ever-looming husk of the Dark Dragon. The trailer announcing the game gave us pretty good introduction to the world of the title, explaining the dark cyberpunk setting. Okay. Several years ago, the Dark Dragon, youngest of the divine dragon gods, wreaked havoc across the world. A voiceover tells us while the camera in the teaser sweeps across a dark cityscape under a massive dragon skeleton. However, before the evil villain could complete his nefarious scheme, we learned that a soul ninja stopped him. But it wasn't a total victory, as the Dark Dragon's husk remained and caused an endless downpour of cursed rain called Rain of Dark Rot. The rain means that the Dark Dragon is still alive and that peace cannot be obtained until the rain is fully stopped. Ninja Gaiden 4 story follows a young ninja called Yakumo, who uses a fighting technique called Blood Raven form. This allows the ninja to manipulate blood and create powerful attacks. Ryu, the previous protagonist in the other Ninja Gaiden games, will also show up in this new outing. Currently, it's unclear how the two characters will interact with one another or what their end goal is. However, it seems like the action will revolve around fully defeating what is left of the Dark Dragon and stopping the Reign of Dark Rot curse. Okay, we also know that the current state of Tokyo is due to the dealings of an organization called the Divine Dragon Order. Yakumo will have to face off against members of the group regularly during his mission. They are guarding the Dark Dragon seal. Demons are also on the loose, and fiends are back in action. So basically, they're going to have all sorts of shit. Okay. And then in terms of the gameplay, it is a hack and slash game. Let me see, you'll be battling enemies with furious, colorful flurries, blah, 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 developed by Team Ninja, which is not exactly accurate, and Platinum Games. Relentless, fast, but fair combat. Let me see. In fact, if you need any more convincing that the upcoming game will be the snappy action affair of the year, the developers say we are excited to announce Ninja Gaiden 4, a new mainline entry in this high-speed action series where you become the ultimate ninja and take on relentless enemies in fierce combat. So I guess, so they're basically just going over the different ways in which you can dispatch your enemies. Yakumo will utilize several ninja tools and techniques when it comes to combat. This includes the Blood Raven form. It can manipulate his own blood. and that of his enemies to perform powerful attacks. Nue style is another feature for Yakumo that lets him take out hordes of enemies at once, turning the tide whenever he is outnumbered. Speed of battles has been heightened in Ninja Gaiden 4, and we also have never seen before far-range instant kill attacks to look forward to. Players will also get to play as Ryu, who has a vastly different fighting style from Yakumo. This means that there are tons of different ways that players can approach combat and play the game. There are legacy moves for veterans and new moves for everyone to dig into with both characters. So don't feel as if you're trapped by one particular style. Finally, players will also get to travel to different locations via rail gliding, swinging through gaps, and more. You'll want to explore the map as well, since there are also plenty of challenges, scenarios, and hidden items waiting to be discovered. We should also mention that the Ninja Gaiden games are notoriously difficult. Okay, so can you pre-order Ninja Gaiden 4? Yeah, you can. Okay, so this is other business stuff that if you want to look at this real quick. So I mean, ultimately, do I think this game is going to be bad? I think that this game is going to be pretty solid. I don't know how great the game is going to be, but I do expect the game to be pretty good. Now, let me go and show when the game is actually going to be set to be released. As you can see here, so apparently now, if this is accurate, I'm assuming this is accurate because we just read, or I read, that the games come out in the 21st. They're probably talking about maybe in Japan and this other region of the globe. But here for me in New York, it's set to come out on the 20th, which is this coming Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because I'm here in New York. Of course, if you're in Seattle or California, that's 5 o'clock for you. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to be streaming the game. I'm going to be playing the game. And that's basically, all I got to say on that front. Now, as it pertains to something I had said prior in another video that did very well, where I was talking about the bait and switch. Now, I had a few people in my comment section that made reference that said that, this is some of the people who commented saying, I guess the general people, including themselves, we always knew that Ryu was not going to be the center of the game. Well, so did I. The problem is, there is issues with that as far as I'm concerned, but it's not a deal breaker for me. In fact, there is no real deal breaker for me with this game because I'm going to play it anyway. But the point of why I called it a bait and switch is not from the fact of it not really featuring Ryu at all, really. And I don't count, well, if you beat a mission with Yakumo, you can play through that mission with Ryu. That's fine, but that has nothing to, that's not really, I guess what I'm trying to say is when it comes to the story involvement of Ryu from stage to stage to stage, Ryu's presence is very, very limited. It is one largely focused on Yakumo, and depending on where you sit on that reality will dictate whether or not you will go and invest your time and or money into this game. As a content creator and as a longtime fan of the Ninja Gaiden franchise, I will be playing and streaming the game, but I am under no illusion that this game is a Platinum Games title. And the bait and switch essentially really stems from the development. And that's just how I see it. I don't expect other people to look at it that way. And it's fine if you don't. We can all agree to disagree. But the source of why I have come to this conclusion is because of this article right here. Now, this is an article I featured in the other video. And basically, again, I highlighted to people in that video that this article right here is January 28th, January 28th, 2025. And it asked the question, why Platinum Games is working on Ninja Gaiden 4. And when I go down, okay, you know, I'm going to link this article again for you guys to look at it. But this section right here, the quote, right? If you go right here, it says that this person says, right, and they're high up in the Team Ninja world in terms of developer and whatnot. He says that said, we are deeply involved in the development of the game. That was proven to be a lie as far as I'm concerned. Don't kill the messenger here. I'm just reporting, right? Because I know there's some people in that last video that were really against me. And I'm like, bro, like I'm literally showing you evidence. And so in the next article, right, here we go. This is now September 7th, much like I said in the last video. And this was literally a day after my birthday. And so the development was done entirely by Platinum Games. So, and I will again have both of these articles and all of the articles in this video in the description. But it's like, look, I don't say this to say, oh, I'm just not going to play Ninja Gaiden. You know, I've already said I'm going to play it and I'm going to stream it. It's just that this right here, as far as I'm concerned, is an example of baiting and switching. It may not be in terms of on the character level, but from a development side, we were told one thing and then we found out another. Now, I went an extra step. I consulted Google, well, not Google, but Microsoft Bing. And there's my question. Did Team Ninja lie about how involved they would be with Ninja Gaiden 4, right? And so it goes on to say here, Team Ninja did not lie in a literal sense about their involvement in Ninja Gaiden 4, but the perception of their role differs depending on interpretation and the sources consulted. Here's the breakdown based on available information. 1. Official statements. Team Ninja co-producer Fujihiko Yasuda and Platinum Games co-director Nakao consistently describe Ninja Gaiden 4 as a collaboration. They emphasize that the game is made together, quote unquote, rather than Platinum Games developing it independently for Team Ninja. Now, this right here, this last article I just shared debunks that. The game was in fact developed entirely by Platinum Games. So this is the truth right here. Now, number 2, Team Ninja members, including producers and directors, are credited as part of the project and involved in providing guidance, feedback, and oversight. Well, that's nice. That's fine. But that's not really, that's like, okay, I can give you a suggestion, but who's doing the real heavy lifting? It was Platinum Games. Now, number 2, reported development reality. Several sources, including The Gamer, which in fact is this article here. This is The Gamer, right? I believe it is. Yep, this is The Gamer. And indicate that the main development was carried out primarily by Platinum Games, with Team Ninja acting in an advisory role and sending daily builds for review. Credits and promotional materials suggest Team Ninja contributed ideas, combat philosophy, and quality guidelines, but compared to Platinum Games' direct programming, design, and content creation, their hands-on involvement was limited. Which comes back to this article from Siliconera, right, where I said here, these guys from Team Ninja said that they are deeply involved in the development of the game. We know that to be a lie. Okay, let's continue. Number 3, the fan and community perception. Many fans and commenters perceive this advisory role as less substantial than initially implied. In other words, a lie. Leading to speculation that Team Ninja's publicity statements overstated their active development. Yes, which is this right here. So moving on, this perception has fueled is fueled by Platinum Games introducing new protagonist Yakumo and making significant gameplay and stylistic decisions, which some interpreters view as Platinum leading the project. Well, hello, again, I hate to keep going back. This was their game. But a lot of people want to, keep the blinders on. Now we're going to go down to the last point, which is the conclusion. Team Ninja's statements about being involved. Actually, no, over here, they say they were deeply, deeply involved in the development of the game. We know that's a lie. Their statements about being involved are factually true. They did participate and provide oversight, influence combat design, and co-develop certain elements. However, the degree of their involvement, hands-on development versus guidance, has been reported as much smaller compared to Platinum Games' execution. This discrepancy between perception and reality has led some fans to feel misled, though there is no evidence of outright deception. Now, you have to understand something. I want you to understand something, and I'm going to close off the video with this, right? I have just shown you at the end, if you have made it to this part of the video, shout out to salute to you. But if you've made it this far, I have literally gone back and forth and shown you read from AI cultivated sources, because that's basically what the Microsoft Bing does and other programs do. They gather sources and basically combine everything into a general summary, right? So reading from that and then going back to the articles themselves, you can see that there were obvious lies being told, right? This game, Ninja Gaiden 4, is developed entirely by Platinum Games. By definition, this is a game that has the Ninja Gaiden title and has some of the Ninja Gaiden characters, but it was designed and developed entirely by another studio, Platinum Games. Now, me personally, I feel a little bit about it, but I'm gonna play it anyway. But there are some people out there that really just they're done, especially when you kind of learn. Now, I can't confirm this. I'm not like the Xbox doomers out there where I'm gonna confirm every rumor. I will just say I have heard that Ryu's usage in the official capacity. I'm not talking about, oh, well, I completed mission 5 with Yakumo. I can play mission 5 with Ryu. I'm not talking about that. That's nice. But when we're talking about story involvement, like, okay, this story is, this is who is moving the story. It would have been safe to assume that Ryu's involvement in terms of a ratio split would have been like maybe ideally 50-50, but at least 60-40. But from what I'm hearing from many people, and like I said, I can't confirm it until I actually play the game myself, is that one thing I've heard, well, actually, no, I don't want to say it, but let's just say out of several missions, Ryu was only featured about 4 or 5 times. That's what this one particular person said. There was another individual that tweeted that. I think I had 3 or 4 people in my comment section of the last Ninja Gaiden video that mentioned this. So like I said, I can't confirm it. I can't deny it, but I would not be surprised because this is a Platinum Games studio developed title. And, for them, PG, Platinum Games, to market their own character, it makes sense because I look at this as a possible, well, I should scratch that. I'm wondering, beyond the DLC that is soon to arrive after the game, which is set to have a story expansion that happens, or should I say takes place after the main game, after the main story, which is cool. I am not a fan of the included weapon for Ryu. He's using pincers, which is these little, it's like a low budget Timu claw weapon. I'm not a fan of it. Again, Yakumo made out like a bandit with them giving him an actual scythe. Think the Grim Reaper, but with a red blade. Like that's like out of all the weapons you could have gave Ryu, you give him pincers. Come on, man. But anyway, that was just I'm not a fan of that, but I am eager to see, depending on the success of this game, will this potentially, if the game does well, could this potentially jumpstart another Dead or Alive? Especially now, I hate to invoke the man's name, rest in peace to Tomonaru. I'm not going to, because I might mess up his first name respectfully, but Itagaki-san. You know, it would be nice to have another Dead or Alive game that is done properly in his honor and with a little less emphasis on the costumes. I mean, costumes are fine, but I had Dead or Alive 6 at launch. It launched horribly. You know, it found its way, but there were just way too much costumes and not enough characters being introduced. But either way, that's neither here nor there. I am looking to see if the success of this game is good, it's strong. Will this prompt a new Ninja Gaiden game? Because there are confirmed reports that Ayame is in the game. I don't know if Momochi is in the game. The other chick, the Shrine Maiden, I don't know if she's in the game, or other characters. Now, I have seen an interesting comment on the last video from an individual that made a good point. I totally forgot all about Hayate. It would have been cool, I guess, if this was an actual Team Ninja developed game. Perhaps we would have had Hayate as a possible playable character. I don't know what kind of story they would have made for him, but that would have been pretty cool. But because this is Platinum Games, we'll see how this shakes out. Like I said, I think for the 50th time in this video, I will play the game. I will be streaming it. For me, here in New York, it will be officially available and released based on the picture that I showed in this video, October 20th at 8 p.m. my time, Eastern Standard. So subscribe, join one of the memberships. It would help me out greatly. Tune into the stream if you want. I can tell you right now, I'm a very measured player. I'm the type of guy that likes to figure things out. I am by far not a button masher. So I'm the type of guy that like, okay, let me master the counters. Let me see how the attacks look. Let's see it. I like to dive deep into the mechanics and the design of the game. If you're just looking for somebody to speed run through the game, that is not me. That's never been my style of play. So that's basically that's a little spoiler of how I will be approaching the game. Yeah, so of course, there are other games to look forward to. On October 29th, I'll be also streaming Outer Worlds 2. Also Virtua Fighter 5 Revo. So there's other titles I will be streaming on the channel, in addition to Tekken 8. And I'm also looking to build up my Twitch numbers, and I'm trying to get to affiliate on that. So anyway, I greatly appreciate those of you that have tuned in, and I hope that everybody has a good day, and join the channel and subscribe. Anyway, peace. Take care.